Okay, hold on.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our learning community. Uh,
Hi.
I will be leading the discussion today, and I'll start off with reading the first question that we have. So let's see. Are visual supports and schedules important for all children in your classroom, or only students with intensive exceptional needs? So when we think about visual supports and schedules, do we think they're important for all the kids in our class or just the students with extensive exceptional needs?
Um, well, I would say schedules are important, just like regular schedules that says the time, but students with exceptionalities, they definitely need a visual schedule so they know what we're going to do. And they don't even have any questions because once they get off schedule, it's hard to get them back on track. Even with the students who don't have any exceptionalities, if something goes off schedule, it throws them completely off, which then throws us off, which makes it hectic, and none of us want that because it makes it so much harder to continue the day because the students are saying, when's lunchtime? Meanwhile, lunchtime was switched to another time. Or when's specials? Meanwhile, they've had the specials the exact same time since the beginning of the year. And it's like there's a schedule on the board. But yeah, so I definitely think a schedule is just important for all students.
I would agree with you on that because it does benefit our exceptional students, but it can also be beneficial to all the students as well. And what I liked about the videos was that it was showing you that there's different types of schedules. Like there can be individualized schedules for students with
Mm-hmm.
exceptionalities that do get pulled out and they go to resource. They can have their daily schedule set up for their needs. And then we can set up one on the wall for the whole class to see
Mm-hmm.
when their daily schedule is. Um, Ayana, do you want to add something?
I agree that it's important for all kids. Um, and like you just said, like having a class schedule versus having like some students who really need those individualized schedules where they're like, all right, we do this one section and then we do something, like you take a break. Then we do this one section and then you take a break. Because I definitely have kids that are like use that kind of schedule right now, but I also have like a full class schedule that we all like refer to and
Yes.
utilize throughout the day. One thing I did want to say is I also think that scheduling and like using picture schedules can be really helpful for not just students with exceptional needs, but also our EL students, so those like English
Oh,
language
yeah.
learners, because sometimes they just don't have the vocabulary to understand what you're saying. So if you have those pictures, it can be really helpful for them as well.
I didn't even think about that. Um, but that's so true because I remember I would sub for second grade and I would sub in a class that had a bunch of ELs and they couldn't understand me and it was really hard um to show them what to do or tell them what to do because I didn't even know the schedule. And now that I actually think about it, and so students who are bilingual, they had to help me talk to them. But now that I think about it, visual schedules and just having a schedule up period would be beneficial for subs. And at this point, um, we need to make subs at least feel welcome so that they come, so that teachers are able to go do the stuff that they need. Because there's nothing more frustrating. Me and Laura subbed a lot last semester, and there's nothing more frustrating than going in a class and you have no idea what to do. There's nothing planned. You have no idea when specials in, when lunch is, so you have to keep and constantly go to the other teachers, and it just makes it hard because then you ask the students and they don't know. um so having a schedule up can also help teachers and subs and aides and just stuff like that.
Yeah, I would agree with the what both of you said, like using the pictures as well. I think can really help EL students, and I'm also thinking about students in our class that are not good readers yet. That'll help
Yeah.
them read better too. Having something posted up with pictures, they'll start remembering.
Yes, that's
And
true.
what we did is in our classroom, I posted the schedule up on our cabinets so that the kids can refer to it. And I put the specials rotation that we have because every day I get that question, what specials do we have today? So I always tell them to refer to the cabinet back there, and they've been doing that now. So they know
Yes.
what specials is that day. And
Yes, and
then,
I know when
mhm.
before we even put it up, I wrote it on a sticky note, and one of us was always asking, "What's for specials today? Do you know?" And then I'd be looking at the schedule. I'd be asking the students, like, "What is for specials?" And then one day, Laura was like, "It's on the board." I'm like, "Oh, that's perfect," because I
Mhm.
wasn't worrying about not knowing what's for specials.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, yeah, it helps the students and the teachers and the subs. So I think it's important. Even the early release schedule we have up too.
Mhm.
So we're trying to um do all of the days that we have. And let's see, other than that, I would say the individual schedules would help the students that get pulled out. So like in our class, we have gifted students that go to PEP, and then we have other students with exceptionalities that go to resource, and students that go to speech. So we
Mhm.
would also need those schedules for ourselves so we know when to send the kids.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah. I had a student last semester who she used our like big class schedule all the time, but she also had a like the sentence strip schedules, the picture schedules.
Oh, yes.
I had two kids that were on those last semester, and she would use that for like she got pulled out 3 times a day. She got pulled out for reading resource, writing resource. She got pulled for speech as well, and then sometimes she get pulled for like other things. And so we had like actual physical pictures of the teachers that pull her. And
Oh.
so we'd be like readings, we would do reading small group, reading small group, reading small group. And then it would be like, okay, now there's a picture of our K2 resource teacher, Mrs. Gray, who's coming to pull her. And then it'd be like writing, and then a picture of our K2 writing resource teacher who would pull her. And so like it had their like actual pictures on it. So she knew like, oh, we're gonna do reading, and then we're gonna do like 3 small groups, and then this person's coming to get me and I'm leaving with them. And so like I thought that
Okay.
was really helpful and I liked it a lot.
Yes, that
Mhm.
sounds helpful.
Yeah, and I think that also helps with behaviors because sometimes children they don't want to do a certain thing or a certain subject,
Hmm.
but that way they don't blame it on you because there's a set schedule of things we have to do. It's not that I'm forcing you to do these things. It's this is what's on your daily schedule that you have to complete. So I feel like the schedule helps with the behavior so that they don't put their anger towards you as the adult,
Hmm.
and they can start getting used to their routine and knowing that, oh, this is what I have to do every single day. It's on my schedule.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because we have a student that he would have outbursts every time we made a transition, and it was really hard for him to do those things. So I think doing a schedule for him would help him more with the pictures so that way he knows. And like I like how you said about giving them breaks because the
Mhm.
schedule helps the kid know like, oh, I have to get ELA done and then I get a break
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
it's on my schedule.
Hmm. I have a kid right now who has it's a laminated like schedule sheet that we made for him. And it's like a daily, like this is everything we're doing the whole entire day. It's like 4 pages long. And it's literally like, okay, we come in, we eat breakfast, we do our trays, we go to the bathroom, we do morning meeting, and then it's like a break. And he likes to do, I don't know if you guys have heard of this guy, but his name is Danny Go. He has a lot of kids videos and stuff. We use him as brain breaks. Like that's his
Oh,
favorite thing is Danny Go. So he knows like he
okay.
goes work, Danny Go. All day long, all you hear it's like work, Danny Go. And he knows, like, all right, we got to do 3 reading tables before we get to go do Danny Go. And it's like, it's really nice. And then if he gets frustrated or isn't working, we like pull out the schedule and we go, all right, you've done this, you've done this, you've done this. Oh, look, you have one more thing, and then you get to go do Danny Go. So it's like
Yeah,
just very helpful to have like that schedule so that they know exactly what's going on in the day.
Yeah,
exactly.
I like that idea. So I think I will put breaks on there for my kid and his personal one. So I think we've talked about this first question really good, and we've gave what we thought about the readings and the videos. So now I want to go into the next question about, so how will we use the SETT, UDL, and TPAC in our future classroom?
The SETT, we could use that by fully knowing what our student can do and like the abilities they have. So if they can write, if they can read, because if they can read, that would make a difference on what type of schedule we would do. Also, their special needs, that would also um depend on what kind of schedule we could do, because we could do one where it's just on the board. We could do one where it's like sentence strips um with no pictures. We could do one with sentence strips and pictures, or we could do one with just pictures in general. um and so then the environment, instructional setting, so like, do are they in a gen ed class or a resource class, or like how, or do they even go to a what is it called, another one of those, I can't think of the name, like one of the other classes, like speech or something.
Oh,
Mhm.
yeah, like
um,
your therapies.
yes. And then physical arrangement, how is the class laid out? That's what I believe that means. And then what are the concerns about the environment? So like, even if you have students who are just complete troublemakers and you cannot control them, that could have a huge impact on the student. um and then I didn't read all of those, but tasks, like what tasks occur that enable students towards mastery of IEP. So we also need to help the students progress. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
if the schedule is going to help them progress, then we can definitely do that. And then going down one, it says, what is everyone else doing? That's another huge thing. Sometimes the student, they see, like in our class, we have a student who has an aide, and lately he has been pushing her away, and it's because he wants to do it on his own. He doesn't want someone helping him completely. And so now we like pull him in a small group with our other, some of our other low students. Um,
Mm.
and then the tools, like what system of no tech, low tech, and high tech tools should be considered. Also, like computers, maybe iPads. I know some students in schools, they have iPads, or
Mhm.
like, I know there's a bunch, the smart boards, or what do they call it? The Promethean boards. Um, and then, yeah, so that's what I think. Like, I think looking at all that could definitely have an impact on the student and how you
Yeah.
do things.
And then like the SETT framework, like I think about this for our student that has a lot of challenging behaviors, and it's more of just him getting frustrated. But if we look at his environment in our classroom, we do have a quiet corner for him so that he can self-regulate. So that's one thing that we do for him to set up the environment so that he can be successful. And then the tasks that he's required to do is one thing that is a personal task of his is that he has to check in with me every morning, and I
Mhm.
have to fill out his behavior plan. And it's more of like a goal that we set each day. So I'll tell him like, okay, you have to have 2 points in the morning and 2 points in the afternoon to
Mhm.
get 4 points today. And then towards the end of the week, he can get he can trade those points for our school, like our school money that we do, and like we have like a store at our school that he can buy stuff from.
Mhm.
Do you guys do that, PBIS?
Yeah, we do PBIS. We do assemblies though, where the kids, we have this giant fish tank where they have tickets in them, and
Oh,
every quarter they pull, I think, 10 tickets from kinder through, I want to say third grade, and the kids can get
Oh,
prizes if their tickets are pulled.
oh,
Wow,
wait,
so
so
it's
is
like
it
a
like 10?
raffle?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's every quarter. And then my principal also pulls tickets out of the fish tank every Thursday morning
Oh,
for our
oh,
Friday announcements because like the kids will get Peter Piper pizza certificates, like pizza certificates.
Oh,
wow, that's
Yeah,
pretty cool.
we do a lot of PBIS.
yeah,
Yes,
so
it's like it's going everywhere now.
yeah, and like I have set up my own store, so it's motivating him to trade in. At the end of the week, he can get 10 points if he makes his goal each day.
Mhm.
So those are some of the tasks that he has to do personally, like check in with me, and we talk about like whether or not he should get the points, and he also grades himself, so he's held accountable for how he's been acting. And then when it comes to like the other things, like um it was the tasks, and what is the other one? The tools.
Universal
Tool,
design.
I
tools.
guess the tools would be the behavior booklet that we have for him. It's like a
Let me see.
binder.
I think
So,
so. Yeah. What
so I just
strategies might be
yeah.
used to increase student performance? So I think the binder. Oh, and the PBIS store.
Oh yeah, in the
Um,
store, that's
yeah,
another tool that we use. And then timers too. I use like if he gets a break, I'll put a 5-minute timer and I'll give it to him. And then when his break is over, the timer will ring when the break is over, so
Mhm.
he knows it's time to come back.
yeah. But he's doing so good now. Like we
Good.
haven't seen him on a break or a quiet corner, or he hasn't taken a walk in so long. And the past 3 days have been, oh my gosh, he literally to like he's usually okay, it's okay, sorry. In our class, we've noticed when he's absent, the kids, it's a whole different thing. But lately, it's not even him. It's the other students. Like today, oh my gosh, Ayana, it was awful. I had my PA.
Uh,
It was really bad. Like they left. It was so bad. The kids, their behavior for Laura's, they just didn't listen. And then my PA was awful. And then lunch, and we had to go to Makerspace, which is the library. That was
mhm.
awful. Like the teacher in there had to yell at them. It was so
Aw.
bad. And then like we have interventions for like 45, 50 minutes. We literally had them sit their head down. We practiced getting in line and doing like one of our classroom management strategies, which is stop, sit, or no, stop, look, and listen.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it was, and they don't even know how to walk in a line. Oh, like it's so
Mm-hmm.
embarrassing. But like he's doing so well. I don't know what's honestly, I have no idea what's been going on because like we
Mhm.
haven't changed anything. So I'm assuming it's him, or maybe it's having new teachers in there. I have no idea. But like
Do you think he's just Oh no, keep going.
his behavior is doing a lot better. But what were you saying?
I was gonna say, do you think it's just like he's finally getting used to like the routines and having you guys as his teacher now? And it's like, because a lot of the times I feel like kids have trouble like in transitions and like getting to new teachers
Yes.
is like a big transition. And I feel like sometimes they just need to feel like safe and secure and like know that you're gonna stick to like the routines and stuff that you've set before they like feel comfortable and are able to like, just kind of like
See,
be okay.
that's a good point, but he was also bad with the other two teachers.
Hmm.
So that's why they even had to create a behavior plan.
Huh.
So yeah, so we'll see how his behavior is tomorrow.
Yeah,
But like the past 3 days, it's been really good. So
that's
I'm
good.
not really sure what's
Yeah.
changing.
So I'm gonna bring us back to
You're
so what
good.
we've been talking about. We did SETT. Now, do you guys have some input, or do you want to share, Ayana, like what you guys think about UDL, how we can incorporate it?
Um, I feel like, sorry, my brain is so slow today.
Hmm.
Oh, don't worry. I'm slow too. I'm looking. So when I think of UDL, it's like universal um
Design.
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 Yeah. So like there's like mainly the three parts of like engagement, representation, action, and expression. Um, I think one of the biggest things is like engagement, because if your kids aren't engaged, they're not gonna like it's not gonna stick. I feel like with my kids a lot of the time, if they're not engaged, it's literally in one ear, out the other. And
Mhm.
it's like I
That's
do
so
all that teaching for like no reason, I feel like,
that's
because they just aren't picking up on it and it's not like sticking. So I always try and make stuff like super engaging and like super fun, like add hand motions, like I get their attention before you even do things. And so, and then like if I see a lot of them are like having trouble staying focused, I'll like recollect everybody's attention and like regroup them as much as possible. And then we'll like keep going with the content.
mm, that's good.
I like that too because
Yeah.
we also use hand motions too. Like if I say stop, look, and listen, I'll have some kids do this, which is quiet coyote, and that's what we've been doing.
What do you guys do? Like your quiet setting. Do you guys have one?
No. So that's something I've been
Oh,
trying to work on with my kids is my mentor teacher, she didn't like have anything in place and like we still don't have anything in place because in our class it's essentially impossible to have everybody sitting quietly and like looking at us.
oh,
Um, because honestly, we're sure that like 90% of them have ADHD because they literally can sit for like 3 seconds and then they have to be moving. And
oh,
so a lot of the times it's just us kind of like, all right, so and so, you're not paying attention. Like, I have all these friends that aren't paying attention. Like, I can't talk until you guys sit there and listen. Or I'll do
mm,
like today I started doing like if you can because I have 5 other adults in my classroom. So obviously like they're really good with like modeling things. So like if you can hear my voice, put your finger on your nose. If you can hear
oh,
my voice, put your finger on your head.
Oh,
If
I
you
like
can hear my
that.
voice, put your finger on your chin. And then sometimes I like to play with them. I'm like, all right, if you can hear my voice, put your finger on your or put your hands on your head, put your hands on your shoulders, put your hands on your knees, on your toes, on your knees, on your toes, because they know that it's head, shoulders, knees, and toes. And
Yeah,
yeah.
they're so like excited, but it also like helps get their attention because they want to do what I'm doing and they want to
that's
hear
good.
what I'm telling them.
That seems like
I
it'd
like
be really engaging. So I want to
yes.
try that in my
Me
classroom. So thank you
too.
for sharing that. Or yeah,
Head,
in
Yeah,
our
shoulders,
classroom,
toes
Candace.
is a hit.
yes. I'm gonna tell you how it works too. We'll see how
I
they
want to
do.
know. Oh, also, I started using today to get them lined up for lunch because we always have such a hard time. We played Simon Says. So I was like, Simon Says, put your hands
Ooh,
wherever. And I was like, Simon Says, if your name's so and so, quietly walk to get in line for lunch. And it works 'cause I only have 10 kids. I don't have like
yeah,
20 or like 30 kids. But it definitely worked. And they were like all quiet and walking so slowly. It was the funniest thing.
Oh,
that's
So
that's
cute.
cool. If you
so
can hear my
now for the last part that we have to do is I'm gonna try to find an article that agrees with what we've been talking about, how it supports visual schedules. So I'm
okay.
gonna try to screen share right now. I'm not sure how to do it, but
It should be at the bottom.
um wait.
Are you
On
still trying
one
to share screen?
I see just breakout rooms, live YouTube.
Go look where it says show chat previews. It should be the one underneath that. Unless it looks different on your screen.
It just has like mute, stop video, security, participants, polls.
Share
Chat.
screen should be green.
Oh, it's the green one right here.
Yeah,
Sorry.
it's
Okay.
okay. It's been a day for all of us.
Yeah.
Monday after the Super Bowl.
Oh, honestly, I had a meeting this morning at 7.
Ooh, yeah, us too.
So I should be sharing now.
Yes,
Yep.
you are.
Perfect.
Oh, to improve socially appropriate behaviors with children with
Oh,
autism, a guide for parents, um,
oh.
increase
Separate
on-task behavior of students on the spectrum, separate and combined.
classroom based. Oh,
Oh, this one goes with it. Assistive
yeah.
technology, collective use of interactive visual schedules.
Hmm.
So this one, can you guys see it now? All of it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and it has pictures
Oh,
of it. This is good. Oh,
Love
I like this one.
that's
I'm
nice.
working for, and then you put the prize and then what you have to do.
Oh, yeah, that was
it.
nice.
Good.
Mm. Whoa.
Hmm.
Oh, okay. I was about to say that's a lot.
Oh, but I
Oh,
think each kid gets their own copy or something.
yeah, that's pretty cool. Welcome to risk method.
Oh, this is a picture of a kid and then their schedule.
Oh, ooh, that seems interesting, but that seems like it'd be a lot.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Results.
Oh, interesting. The bar progression.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting. That one schedule with, or not even a schedule, like that was for like every
Oh,
student.
that's what we use, the picture one. The
This
sentence,
one?
The blue one.
Oh,
not the
this is what
one.
you're talking about. This one?
Yeah, sentence strip one like
Oh,
that. I had 2 kids when I was in gen ed who used that.
Okay.
okay. Our mentor made something like the blue one last year
Mm-hmm.
for like certain students.
Uh-huh.
Um, and so they would like take it off like where it is on the schedule and then put it at the top, and that's what they were
Yeah.
doing at that moment.
Oh, well, all those picture cards down there, literally flashbacks, nightmares. Trying to set up a schedule on a fun day where we're just doing fun things right before break. How do
Oh,
you even
oh
do
my
that?
gosh.
Because you have to time it out right too. Oh my goodness, it was
Oh,
That's
so
so
this is what
cute.
the teacher will use these to make a schedule of the day for a kid.
mm-hmm.
Oh, that makes
Oh, I
sense.
thought that was like for each student and like I don't know
These are
what I was
just
thinking,
different picture
honestly.
cards. That's what it
Okay.
looks like, picture cards. Because I had my kids have breakfast one, they had reading, writing, they had small groups, they had stuff like if we're doing, let's say they're going to computers for small group, one of my kids
Mm-hmm.
like literally needed to know that she was going to computers. Like it was a
Oh,
picture of
okay.
a computer and it said computer.
Okay. Interesting.
And some kids like they don't need that much level of detail. Like my other kid just needs to know we're going to reading, writing, lunch, then we're going to do
Exactly.
math, specials, math.
Mm-hmm.
But my
That's why
other,
like sometimes you really have to know the kid
mhm.
to understand if they need a visual schedule that's like completely detailed or just a schedule with writing that's on the board or something.
Yeah. One thing I did notice though, so my one kid that literally needed to like to know every single detail, like our lunch and recess are combined, and she needed to like see on her visual schedule that we're going to lunch and then we're going to recess rather than just like we're going to lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But she actually is autistic. My other
Mm.
kid who had a picture schedule, we think he has ADHD, but he just like has trouble focusing and like needs to know what's going on during the day. But
Mm-hmm.
he
Okay.
doesn't have any, like, he doesn't have an IEP, he has no diagnosis or anything right now.
Mm.
But my one kid who, like, needed all the details, she's autistic. But I also have kids now who are autistic that don't need that many details. So it's very,
Mm.
like, it's very particular, like, pertains to,
It
like,
is.
specific students.
Yeah, and I can see this helping like the students with IEP. So like this would be something else to like collaborate with the special education teachers on
Mhm.
which schedule they think will benefit the kid the most.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're also really great resources for getting these resources. Both of my kids that were on sentence strip schedules, they were the like sentence strip schedules were made by our resource teacher. And
Oh,
anytime
okay.
like cards went missing or stuff, she would bring
Mhm.
us new cards, like picture cards for it.
Oh, good. Then yeah, it is something to talk about that with them. So I think uh we've reached the time of our meeting, and I feel like this discussion went really well, and I appreciate you guys answering.
Yes. This discussion was interesting today.
It
I
was
like it.
good.
All
Thanks.
right. Thank you guys. I'm gonna stop recording now.
Okay.
Um,